Captain Carter's only plan of thought is to knock down these prisms that are holding other universal threats. Nah, her new name is Captain Crashout, because she is crazy for that. The universal threats escape from the prisms, and shit just gets wild. It turns into a GTA lobby. They start getting down. Everything's getting crazy. Alright bro, we're gonna get straight into the video. No recap needed. Doctor Strange was absolutely tweaking. Watcher is watching. Who would have guessed that he would be watching somebody? The Watcher is watching a different version of Captain America. The version of Captain America that became Peggy Carter. So I guess she's Captain Britain. I don't know. You probably remember her from when she helped stop Infinity Ultron. If you remember, Ultron was a straight demon. He was on bad timing, bro. He was booming the entire multiverse like it was nothing until the Guardians of the Multiverse stopped him, which is exactly what we're here to talk about. Another Guardian of the Multiverse just so happens to be talking to her. So they're chit-chatting, and basically Supreme Strange asks Peggy for a favor. And of course, they're kind of buddies now because they saved the multiverse together, so she agrees. He asks can Peggy Carter go to a planet and obtain a universal level threat. He wants the super soldier to capture a universal threat and bring her back. What is this nigga thinking? At least he puts that OP defensive spell back on her, and this spell is nuts. I'm convinced that literally nothing can beat this junk because it was standing up to a multiversal level threat. So maybe her chances aren't as bad as I thought they were. So she pulls up to the world, and then there's like this person that's moving ridiculously fast. We stop to see who it is for a second, and it's like this Native American lady glowing and shit. And Peggy is outmatched. She can't get a hit in. She's getting blitzed. But then finally, she gets one hit with that weak ass shield. But this is how you know Peggy has no bag, because she tries that weak ass move again, and then the girl catches it. Like, bro, what is up with every Captain America getting their shield caught? Bro, this shit weak. All right, but let me stop calling this girl Native American chick before people start thinking that I'm racist. Her real name is Kahhori? I'm not sure if I'm saying that shit right. There's no way I'm saying that shit right. So after one brief encounter, KH manages to convince Captain Carter that she's on the wrong side. Turns out Doctor Strange is the one that's actually tripping, and KH is on the good guy's side. So they team up, and now the new goal is to stop Doctor Strange. But Doctor Strange immediately catches them lacking and pulls them back to his base. Then he just gets to blasting. No questions asked. Now Captain Carter has to pick a side, and she decides to team up with KH. So they get busy. However, unfortunately, they're both not a match for him. So Captain Carter's only plan of thought is to knock down these prisms that are holding other universal threats. Nah, her new name is Captain Crashout, because she is crazy for that. The universal threats escape from the prisms, and shit just gets wild. It turns into a GTA lobby. They start getting down. Everything's getting crazy. They turn this shit into a battle royale, a free-for-all, a death match. So Doctor Strange is distracted. He has to put more attention on the universal level threats, and Captain Carter and KH get away. However, everything's not sunshines and rainbows, because as they're escaping, the other universal threats notice them, and they're trying to pack them up. In their eyes, they're not omitted. They're a part of this free-for-all just like everybody else. So Captain Carter and KH are like, bet. They start getting down. They start boxing. First up is this zombie version of Scarlet Witch. I just don't smash. But anyways, her and KH start boxing and shooting beams at each other. They having a Dragon Ball fight. Meanwhile, Peggy Carter's useless ass is sitting on the floor struggling against zombies. Like, bro, you are superhuman. And tell me why the zombies catch her shield once again, bro. Like, can you not get your shield caught for once? So KH, unalives zombie Scarlet Witch, because you know, monetization, and they start fighting the zombies, but the zombies just stop and start going green. Turns out Hela pulls up, and she took control of all of the zombies. Now she's getting ready to fight, but then Surtur pulls up. What is going on, bruh? So Hela starts boxing Surtur, and they're like, nah, they're not dealing with that. So they try to run from the fade just for Thanos to pull up. And you probably think Thanos was standing on business. Bro was not standing on nothing, because Killmonger snaps him out of existence. He gets dusted by his own technique, bro. Took his whole bag, took his whole flow. And I'm tired of Thanos being disrespected like this. Like, bro, this is the guy who's like the main boss of the Infinity Saga. Now he just stays getting his maxed out. Bro, this is how every villain be when you unlock them as the character to play as. They be doing all this crazy shit when they're the villains, but as soon as they're the good guys, they act like they can't do nothing no more. So Killmonger tries to box, but KH is not having that. Teleports him right out of his little suit and sends him into the middle of the fight. How is bro supposed to survive this? Literally all these niggas are universal threats. He's just a nigga in a suit now. So after this, Captain Carter puts on the Infinity Armor and also becomes a universal level threat. I've said that at least 8 times. Everyone's a universal level threat. It's a universal level threat bargain sale. So Doctor Strange is trying to feed all these universe killers to this forge. I'm pretty sure to resurrect his old universe, but that's also kind of like Omni-side. So Captain Carter with the Infinity Stones and KH both try to stop Doctor Strange. By the way, he pulls up to the forge. I guess he dealt with all those threats. But even with the Infinity Stones, KH KH and Captain Carter are still not a match for Doctor Strange. He's low-key handling them at the same time. Captain Carter's supposed to be distracting Doctor Strange while KH destroys the forge, but she's like not enough. So they just say forget it. They're gonna both fight him at the same time. And they actually not doing too bad. They got Strange on his toes. That boy has to try right now until Strange pulls out Shadow Clone Jutsu. But Captain Carter had to show that she had her Sharingan on because she did a Shadow Clone Jutsu too. These niggas are just pulling anything out of their bag. So now it's like 100 Captain Carters versus 100 Doctor Strange. And they were scrapping until Carter got turned into butterflies. Well, all her Shadow Clones at least. And this is how you know they on some Naruto junk because Doctor Strange puts her in a Genjutsu. I said it once and I'll say it again. These niggas are pulling anything out of their bag. So he starts showing her illusions of Steve and junk. And it was a little heartfelt moment seeing pre-serum Steve, even if he is a beta. You can just tell how much Carter, Peggy, loves this man. And she probably would have stayed in there, but she got her Wreck-It Ralph, Fix-It Felix, Dynamite Gal moment. I'm not gonna lie, pre-serum Steve low-key kind of looked like Fix-It Felix. So Doctor Strange must have thought he had her trapped. This is literally her perfect dream. She breaks out, but he's like, forget this. So he just starts summoning all of the universe killers and drops them into the forge. And I'm not gonna lie, how is every single one of them falling helplessly? Can't like at least one of them fly or control space and time or something? They just be doing anything in this series. But this one KH digs deep into her bag, bro. She's in her Duffy right now. She pauses them in air and rises them back up to their portals. And not just any portals, portals back home. Nah, she's in her bag right now. So Doctor Strange is obviously trying to stop KH. The moment he stops them, they fall right back into the forge. Until Captain Carter digs in her bag and starts using the Time Stone. It starts reversing them back into the portal until Doctor Strange activates his Time Stone. And then they start falling right back into the forge. Nah, these characters are in their bag. They're pulling out everything. Then they start scrapping again. But once again, even with both of them combined, they're still not a match for Strange. So the universe killers, knowing that they're about to unalive, starts handing all their powerful weapons and magics and enchanted items, and they just start giving it to KH and Captain Carter. So they getting amped like crazy. They're getting buffed. They done got the best RPG loot drop of all time. And finally, Strange cannot compete with them anymore. They start getting on his ass. Bro's getting the Nanami Yuji special. He's getting beat up just like his Jujutsu Kaisen. With all these items, they are too powerful, bruh. So anyways, KH succeeds in putting them into portals and bringing them back to their original world. Not gonna lie, KH is carrying right now. Peggy, you're gonna have to get your stats up. So KH and Captain Carter get ready to scrap. And at this point, these niggas got to be multiversal level threats with all the shit they have. 10 rings, Hela's hat, Thor's hammer, Infinity Stones. If these niggas not multiversal level threats, I don't know what is. They start getting on Strange ass, and he is just not competing at all. It's looking bad for Strange. Got his ass on defense the whole rest of the fight. Turned him into an airbender, turned him into a pacifist. This junk is low-key kind of sad, but the more they beat him, the more the monster starts to come out of him. And I don't mean that like metaphorically. I mean, he's literally turning into a monster. They're beating the humanity out of this nigga. It's crazy how they dead ass beat that dog out of him. I know bro was contemplating in his head whether he wanted to destroy the universe or not. I mean, bro already did it once, so why not get a two-peat? I'm not even gonna lie. Even with all their boost, Doctor Strange's monster form was standing on business. He low-key started putting in work. He went from playing only on defense to straight to offense. What is up with this last-minute Zenkai boost? How powerful is Doctor Strange, bruh? He starts putting in work. He even starts breaking a couple of their magic items. And no, he hit her out of the Infinity Stones. This is the equivalent to when Knuckles punched out Supersonic. So KH puts the Infinity Stones back on Peggy Carter. She punches him so hard, he starts turning schizophrenic. He has a good side and he has a bad side. He's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And she literally knocks the demon out of him. Bro starts pleading for his life. He starts realizing that he was tripping and he gets a heart-to-heart with Peggy Carter. But it doesn't matter because the monster takes over him again. So he tackles Peggy and then tries to dive her into the forge. So they're boxing mid-air. They're boxing while falling. And Peggy's getting some hits in. She jumps out of there and the monster Doctor Strange tries to follow her. And regular Doctor Strange starts fighting against the monster Doctor Strange. And the good version of Doctor Strange sacrifices himself inside of the forge. Then the forge explodes. Bro, that was hella climactic for no reason. Then I guess the Watcher pulled her out to safety, probably giving her a lecture on how she shouldn't have done what she did. Meanwhile, his ass was probably up there watching the whole thing, not doing shit. He out here eating popcorn like this shit is a movie. Like, bro, you suck. Do something. Stop waiting till shit gets critical. So she goes back to her world and she's just chilling with the Watcher. Why is she chilling with an omnipotent being at a park? I don't even know, bruh. She got a different type of connects. And remember how I said he's probably gonna lecture her? That's exactly what he does. Like, nigga, you have the audacity to lecture somebody? Nigga, you don't do shit. And that's the end of the story, man. This junk was absolutely crazy with these mythological beings and whatnot, man. But I hope y'all enjoyed this because I love doing what informative. If you enjoy it, make sure to subscribe.
I know that the movie and it ain't quick. Don't get sad cause move didn't quit. You don't gotta get that in a throw fit. Just hit the sub button and I remember you. Just hit the sub button and I remember you. Just hit the sub button and I remember you.